Okay, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Well, I gotta say, it's nice to have a select board meeting where we start out in the light. I'm not used to it. All right. We're gonna start out with citizen participation from Nick Wohlers. I guess you come right up here.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Good, how are you today?
Pretty good. Good. So, do you know why I'm here, I suppose? Or?
Yeah, why don't you, if you want to, you could just state your case. And
Yeah, well, a while back I had bought some property from the town of Granby at an auction.
yeah.
And after several meetings with conservation and back and forth and tens of thousands of dollars spent on conservation, apparently they're pushing the state method on me. I mean the federal method instead of the state method. So apparently it's wetlands and it's unbuildable. So I was giving it back to the town and hoping that you'll accept it.
Okay. Could you explain a little bit about the federal and state wetlands things? Or
I don't know. Apparently, there's two methods to doing the, I'm not a wetland guy, but to determining wetlands, and according to the guy, well, first of all, I've had like 3 different opinions because I've hired 3 different people in regards to this. The first one being, I think it was EIS in East Long Meadow.
Yep.
And the woman that works for them also is on the Conservation Commission. So when I hired them, they did the delineation, and it was, in their eyes, it was a buildable lot. So the property was quite vegetated, so when we went in there to do the perk test, I cleared out some of the vegetation, and we took a measurement, finding out that I was probably short by maybe 5-10 feet. So I called them back, asked them to come take another look at the property. And they sent Casey Jones, one of your, or Collins, whatever her name is, kind of a conflict of interest, but they couldn't do anything about it. So I hired another firm. He actually went in, I spent quite a bit of research and money with him, and it turned out his delineation was quite a bit further back, kind of almost like the state had it on your maps.
Okay.
So went to several meetings, actually had a verbal agreement that they all agreed to it. And then one of Wenda Luft, is that her name? Mm-hmm. Who hadn't been to any of the meetings I've been at, and I've been at probably 7, 8 of them.
Yep.
Also had a site visit, never showed up. One person showed up at the site visit. So come to the next meeting, everything after, you know, submitting everything that we researched and went through, had a verbal agreement. My conservation guy said, okay, now that you agreed to it, let me just put it on a survey that, you know, that I feel comfortable with. They agreed to that. We did that. It cost me several more dollars. Come back the following meeting, they don't have a quorum, so they couldn't vote on it.
Yep.
So come back again, a couple weeks later, more money, obviously. Wenda Luff shows up. Says that she couldn't make the other site visit, wanted to go and do her own site visit. They allowed her to. For some reason, she knew the exact spot to go to. I don't know how, maybe Casey Collins or whatever her name is, Jones with Collins. Told her right the exact spot to go, so she went to it within, I don't know how she does this because it cost me about 10 grand in research. She made her opinion in less than 5 minutes, maybe. And went back. Then they requested some other stuff, so I filed with the state. Meanwhile, she called the state. And at that point, I just decided to bail because I can't
Spend a lot of money on.
I'm already into him for 10, bought the property, other research, you know, I'm in, you know,
Okay.
20, 30 grand, wherever. So I don't know how these people get away with the things that they do. I don't know if you've had any other complaints about these people, but in my opinion, you ought to look into it.
Who's Casey Collins?
Casey Collins was the clerk for the Conservation Commission. And many a time she would go out and do site visits and instruct the landowner on things they needed to do or not do
Okay.
with no authority to do so.
Okay.
So meanwhile, I owe some back taxes. I just want to cut my losses. I want to give the property back to the town. Nice doing business with you, but I'm all set, pretty much.
Okay. I think we're gonna have to take it under advisement, which means we're gonna have to talk about it, but we will give you a decision and let you know. I wanna look into some of this Conservation Commission stuff.
Yeah, I advise you to, because they should be putting it on TV like that. Maybe this stuff wouldn't be happening.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think I got the squeaky chair this week.
All right. All right, so we want to, all right. Are you guys all here, or do you need more time?
We're good.
No, well, we'll just have you come up now, or do you want to just stay there?
Yeah. Wow.
No, somebody needs to come up.
Somebody needs to come up, and we need to, can you guys convene a meeting
Yes. Just call the school committee meeting.
to order? Okay, so Cheryl's coming up?
You learned your lesson, huh?
I did.
Oh, you're putting her feet up? Sorry.
It's a trick chair.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not the ejection one, but
It puts you in the nap position.
there's a guy on BBC, Graham Norton, he does like television things, and then at the end of the show, they have somebody from the audience come up, and if they're not suitably entertained by what this person is saying, the chair just flips backwards. You just see the people's feet, so. We haven't invested
I
in
have my chair.
We haven't invested in that yet, but, yeah. Okay. So Cheryl, you're here to talk about the two articles that were not funded at town meeting last time.
Actually here to talk about one,
One.
which is the grade 2 teacher.
All right?
That's my understanding. So I was asked to go through the budget and see if there was any potential in the school department budget to find funds for the additional second grade teacher that was hired. And so in working with the principals and the leadership team and Mark, we did go through the budget. As of today, we are 4.1%, where we have 4.1% of the budget remaining for the remainder of the year. As you know, it was a very tight budget when it was passed. There were no contingencies in the budget.
Yep.
If we were to make significant cuts to three major lines, we would perhaps come up to about $26,000 of the budget for the second grade teacher. That would be $10,000 out of maintenance. It would be $6,000 out of athletics, and about $10,000 out of the combination of teaching and office supplies for each of the school buildings.
And that's still not the whole.
And it's still not the whole thing, and I would like to bring to the committee's or to the board's attention that we do have an unknown tuition for a student who will be on a long-term suspension under state 37H&1/2. We have not been, we're following that, but we haven't been told a final tuition on that
Okay.
or determination. We are also following the lunch program. If you've been following our school committee meetings, the lunch program is in deficit, trending over the contingency in the budget for FY18, so that's a concern we have. And we anticipate a school choice correction.
In the negative?
Yes.
Okay.
Any excess transportation funds?
We're still looking. I believe we were no with special education because we had unanticipated transportation, and
It's a little early to tell with special education because it's by route by day. But we do know that when we went into the budget for FY18 because we had that issue of the rebid and the new amount that came in higher. The budget was already voted when the new budget for the transportation came in for regular education, so we know we have a little bit of a deficit there that we are hoping will be covered by any excess we might have in the special education transportation.
Okay, so this would be dealt with in the special town meeting prior to annual town meeting or prior to the second half of the annual town meeting? If we don't do a transfer, is that correct?
Or does the board want to bring it back to a special town meeting in May? For the first half of the annual budget.
Well, I mean, funding options are stabilization. What else?
Hopefully there may be free cash left.
So we may have free cash. So we
And the
don't,
reason I'm saying maybe, because we did have a large free cash certified. However, I want to use that to replace the roof.
okay.
Replace the roof, replace the skylights that I've been informed are leaking, and also to replace some of the ventilation motors that are not functioning either.
All right. So that's for like, we're gonna use that as a capital item, is what you're saying?
Yes.
All right. So do we have any, I don't know how this works, but other departments with leftover money, is that transferable?
I would want to talk to the board first before I commit those funds.
Yep. But that's another
There is a potential.
funding source.
Or you could turn around and transfer money out of the reserve fund by reducing that allocation and funding the school with it.
All right, so it looks like we have several different options for funding that, funding sources anyway, potential forces. So, did you follow that?
Yes.
Okay. Thoughts, anybody?
My question is, it's easy to say, take away $10,000 in maintenance. How does that affect the school? As far as, is that maintenance projects that are set to be done, or is that just general maintenance that is ongoing?
It's general maintenance at this point. Our concern obviously is West Street School. Knock on wood, we have been okay, but that is an older building and we're just not sure.
We gotta make it through at least the end
We
of the
have to
year,
make it
right?
through the end of the year, correct, yep. But it
That's the
does,
school year, the fiscal
Right.
school year.
so what it does do is it pushes all of our facilities maintenance to safety and security only.
And I guess my next question will also be the $6,000 for sports. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think over the past several years, it seems like the sports have been taking a hit. So where would this come out of the sports now?
So in the athletic budget, there is a field repair line for $6,000, and the athletic director's been working with the Sport Association, GAA, to do volunteer work,
Okay.
to update the field maintenance.
So I'd just like to point out that the schools system was specifically told that they should not pad their budget. Everything should basically be minimal. And if you budget minimally, any unanticipated cost it has to come from somewhere, and it can't. You're already at the minimum by definition. So I think the finance committee is instructing you to do that, and then I just don't think it's fair. Sometimes people have this idea that we need to punish the schools because they're not spending within their budget, but the budget's not realistic to begin with. And I'm sure if you ask some of the teachers in Granby, they would tell you the same thing. So
I want to ask one other question. The school choice adjustment that's for negative balance, Are you coming to the town for that amount too?
We're hoping not. We're expecting that through operations, we'll be able to balance out school choice.
School lunch? Same answer?
Same answer.
Okay. And I know these are things that the school committee is looking at, a lot of the administration. It's not just, everybody's aware of what's going on, so.
I guess too, what I'd ask, you talk about the school choice and the school lunch, and you're hoping that would be able to, but what is, I guess, what are the odds? You know, is it feasible that actually is going to happen, or, you know, we're talking 50-50?
Well, I mean, right now we have an $8 million budget, almost $9 million budget, and for money that's not spoken for right now is less than $400,000. So it comes down to what kind of expenses will the school incur between now and the end of the year. I mean, that's 4% is not a lot of money to play with, but you know, if things trend the way they did last year, the school did pretty well on very little money through the last quarter of the year. So it really comes down to, you know, like you yourself, how much you're going to spend between now and June 30th. You can predict it, but you never know what's going to happen. I mean, February we had to spend $10,000 on the boilers at West Street, which is unfortunate for a building that's probably going to be discontinued, but we needed to heat them, and you just don't know what's going to hit or what isn't. But you know, like I said, if things progress the way we hope they do and the way they did last year, those expenses will likely be covered.
Just for clarity's sake, because I think it sounds bad, but I don't think it is. It's like you just said you had 400,000. That's, I mean, it's allocated or something. I mean, it's just not just floating there to be spent on anything, correct?
Well, we don't allocate every penny. If you have supplies, you have maintenance, things like that you pay for as you come up. I mean, out of an almost $9 million budget, you know, obviously salaries you're going to account for, you know, certain expenses with contracts, but there's a certain amount of money that's there for, you know, things that come up, general expenses.
Okay. Any more questions? All right. Before you all went back to your own meeting, I wanted to talk about April 2nd. We're going to have a meeting with the Finance Committee and you. I know I spoke with Cheryl last Monday, and gave her like some of the budget material we had to kind of show what we wanted, like in terms of 3 years of detail. I was talking with Emery on Saturday, and we talked about like actuals and spending. I don't know if that's possible or not, but I think that's what two things that we're looking for. Is there other things that people are looking for that they want to see, including school committee, what they want to see or want, you know? I will run the meeting with an iron hand in terms of behavior, but is there anything that we could do to help you? Any data you guys want or numbers you want?
I don't think so. As joint meeting, it's, you know, our ability to present the school department budget, certainly get input and feedback.
So, I mean, ideally, it would be great if we're all sitting here and anybody has a question, that the question could be answered. Because I'm sick of this like accusation of non-transparency, which I don't think is there or intentional. Chris?
No.
All right.
Yeah, if there are any questions, we'll let you know.
I just want all this stuff to be put to bed. I want everything on the table, I have all questions answered, so I don't, certain people aren't making insinuations at town meeting.
Just to get back to the grade 2 teacher. So what amount would you be looking from the special town meeting? The full amount? 40,000, 35, 45?
It depends on how the budget trends. I mean, I think the question that was posed to me is, can the school department budget assume the salary of the additional grade 2 teacher? So that's what we did. We went into the budget to look for that. When would you need to know?
As soon as possible. Because we'll be signing that probably within the next couple of meetings. Because they have to get posted before.
Town meeting warrants?
Yeah.
Okay.
We usually do those mid-April.
Okay. so 3 or 4 weeks, no, 2 or 3 weeks. 3 weeks, so.
Well, that's difficult to answer. Just going back to what Cheryl's saying, that, you know, in 2 or 3 weeks,
Yeah,
you know,
you
it's such a moving target.
We still
We
don't.
might come back and say the same exact thing, we're in the
Yeah.
same position, or we might come back and say, 2 other things came up and we need the full amount, we just don't know. And I'm not sure how to go about giving you a number.
Well, you can't,
It's such a
you
moving
can't tell us
target.
what you might have to spend
Right.
at the end of May. Can we,
And on the other hand, in an effort to be transparent, right, we
Yeah.
don't want to overshoot, right?
Nope.
You know, we want to be as accurate as possible, and yet it's almost impossible to do that, so.
well, can we put 45 and then amend it if it comes in lower? 49 or whatever it is, and then,
What is the salary? What was that, the amount?
43 was, and the person was higher.
What was that article?
It was 49,000 plus. I don't know.
49,591, I think, but I hate to say things like that and then have it quoted.
don't quote her on that, Walter.
Don't quote her.
okay? 591, don't.
Close enough.
I mean, I would say if we have to sign the warrant article, I'd put it for the whole amount and then amend it when it comes to the floor if it needs to be lowered. And we don't have to specify on the warrant article, we don't have to specify the method of payment, we just have to do it on the motion, so.
Is it possible to somehow put in the warrant article that it could be amended?
I mean, the warrant's just it can always be amended theoretically. I mean, if for whatever weird reason town meeting said, oh, we'll give you 20,000, I mean, that could be conceivably, so it can always be amended, but no. You wouldn't put that in the warrant article. So, because the warrant article is just, it's basically a warning that, okay, town meeting could conceivably spend $49,000 and $591 on this, so. And obviously, town meeting would be happy if it came in lower, so.
So if this goes to special town meeting and it gets shot down again, as it did the first time, then what?
Then the DOR is gonna stomp its foot, and I won't be a selectman, so I won't care. Yeah,
That's a good question.
yeah, no, it is a good question.
Well, it's not a mandate, I mean, the salary's not a mandate, so with
No,
with the
but
school.
basically you have to have the budget has to be balanced by the end of the year. You can't
And-
overspend it. so.
Right, but would the school be required to make certain adjustments to fund that position if it's not passed?
My hope is that this is part of our discussion on April 2nd, that we're looking at this problem as, something to be resolved amongst all of us, that it's not kicked back to the school committee and the superintendent to figure it out. Because I think it's pretty safe to say that at this point, we're beyond, this is a school district problem, you guys need to figure it out. I think we're there. We've been there the last few years, so my hope for, you were asking before for this meeting, is that when we sit around, that, that's how we're sitting around. We're saying, how can we figure this out as a town? What are our options?
Yeah, but that's just my question, so if it goes as a warrant for the town meeting and it doesn't get passed there, then what are the options that we're looking at that point?
That's
So
where we
that's-
refer to the
yeah.
town administrator, to the finance, I don't know what the laws are.
That's the question I was just posing.
Yeah, you
It
can't.
wasn't directed at you, was that directed
No,
at
I understand it.
everybody?
I think, what do we get, a management letter? School get a management letter, or town get a management letter? Town will get a management letter. DOR won't be happy with us, and can I take that off our tax recap? Or take it off the top of our taxes next?
Not necessarily.
So it's like, there's not like a simple answer. It's a bad thing. Like, I don't know how often it happens, probably very rarely that it happens, but it would look bad for us as a
I
town.
would say right now, whatever we say is gonna be speculation, so since we have that meeting in the next 4 weeks, let's just,
Yep.
See how we can prepare to answer that contingency if it happens that way, and I think that's a fair
Yep.
question.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else? All right. Have fun at your own meeting.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And remember, you're still under oath, and anything you might say to each other on
Yes,
the way
we're
over there could be
discussing.
held against you in a court of law. All right. All right, should we call up?
There's nobody.
Oh, they just like to come to our meetings, that's all, I get it. So that's, that is, what does a grown-up Granby girl do for a good time? Go to a select board meeting and watch what happens.
Well, Micheline's here to talk about the contract for charter.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. And Crystal's with her, so. Do you want me to have her come up for the contracts?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, Micheline, come on up. Crystal, you can come up too if you want, or you can just stay there. All right.
Hello.
Hello, young lady.
Hello.
All right, so we've got some contracts to review and sign if we feel like it.
I'm here if you have questions. Maybe. I have answers.
You
Is it new business?
would be under new business.
There we go.
All right. All right, we have, basically, most of the contracts are for entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
First one is for the Lindsay LaBelle Band, and the band Out of the Blue.
Correct, those are two separate bands for the same organization that put it together.
Oh, no, one's be able to still work and one's be able to Sandra La Caresse.
That's because it's a family band.
The amount is $800 for the Lindsay LaBelle Band and $800 for Out of the Blue. And Lindsay LaBelle will play on June 9th from 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. And Out of the Blue will play between 8 and 11 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
The second contract is for the Prez Perry Acoustic to play on June 8th, starting at 5 p.m. and they'll have 3 50-minute sets. $300 for that. Then we have Trailer Trash to perform June 8th from 8 to 11 p.m.
Oh, they're good.
Yeah, they are.
That's
Yeah,
good.
I've heard that, yeah, I've heard that.
And the
I'll
price,
take your word for it.
and the price of that contract is $2,000.
They do the East Long Meadow July 4th.
Then we have the Crawdaddy Mushroom Band.
Hope those aren't their instruments.
On June 9th from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. for $400.
Like psychedelic songs about like lobsters and stuff. Crustaceans.
Then we have one for the Mass Truck Pullers Association, Inc.
That's not a band.
No, it's not a band.
No.
That's your truck pullers.
This is on Friday, June 8th, and that price is $4,800.
I'm sure you can hear them from your house, Steve.
Yes, it's a definite.
And the last one I have is that Richie dropped off today was for the fireworks.
Yeah, I know you wanted to touch base and see, because my other hat, the 250th.
Well, we have two prices. One is
Correct.
$6,000,
Yes,
and that gives us about 1,700 shells.
correct.
And then there's a second one for $8,000 that gives us 4,200 shells, I believe.
Correct.
Off the top of my head. And it was proposed that Charter Day pay for the 6,000 and the 250th pay the additional 2,000
Correct.
to come to the total of 8,000.
And I brought it to you guys because I didn't think it was us as a committee should make that decision because it's a large amount that's not being paid back. So that's why I brought it to you guys, to determine which way you guys wanted to go.
7,000 or 8,000?
6,000 or 8,000?
8,000.
Oh.
For the additional $2,000, you get about 900 more shells, I think it is, give or take.
I figure, you know, ever since our 250th, that's why, you know.
Yeah, that's, I
I
was
have no
thinking.
insightful things to say about that, so, I don't know.
Since it's our 250th, what's a couple $1,000?
Well, as long as we.
Well, if they don't
the
have
money.
it, if they don't have it,
We have it.
there's an issue.
Oh, okay.
I haven't gotten my police bill yet.
Yeah.
All right. Can it be contributed by the other hat?
Charter Day?
Yeah, 250th? Who's paying for this, 250th?
The 250 is paying for the $2,000 and Charter Day is paying for 6,000.
Oh, I see. But 250 can't pay more than, right?
Not if you've seen my bills
Okay.
coming. I'm trying to be
Yeah.
conscious of money I have.
Part
Can't spend what I
of
don't
the
have.
problem we're gonna have is for the parade.
Correct.
A estimate was given to the 250th of what, 5,000?
He just gave it to me today because I just had a meeting. And worst case scenario, this is what worst case scenario he's done, is 24 people at approximately $7,000.
For security?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Security.
To shut down the roads and
Yep.
all those. stuff.
Security, dispatching, extra, I had the list, it's actually in my car, I do have it.
Why are you being charged for dispatching?
I was
Because
just
he
going to
has
ask
to put an
that
additional
question.
dispatcher on.
Why? Do you know?
Negative.
Okay.
You would have to ask the,
Can we see give me a copy of the book?
yes, I'm gonna give you the copy of that, because we went over a lot of stuff today, because I have to apply to the state to use the state road for the parade.
Because if he's coming in at that price,
Yeah,
you're not gonna have enough money.
I know. That's why I have to talk to you guys. Not for asking more, like, what else do we do?
You know, because I believe you still have the second barn dance that you're doing, correct?
The second barn dance, but yeah, I believe that I broke out even on the first one. And that's my goal, is this event also to break out, it's either even or make more. I'm trying to make more money, but no one else is buying any more of my 250th coins. I'm not getting a lot of volunteers for stuff, so I gotta pay for a lot of stuff because I can't get volunteers to do things. The Winter Festival, which was a huge success, put us in a hole. We didn't break even with that because I couldn't get volunteers. But it was a great event. A lot of
I
people
thought
enjoyed it
so.
because you were
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
A lot of people enjoyed it, but that put me, whenever I do an event, I try to break even or come out with more. Because my purpose is not to use more money. But this one ended up eating me up a little bit.
Same company doing the fireworks, whether it's $6,000 or $8,000?
Yeah, we asked for 2 biddings just in case because we had to get the bid in. And so when we put in an RFP, we asked for 2 different price tags.
Right.
So that way we could go either way.
Is it to a point you could actually change your mind and upgrade to 8,000? Because listen to Chris right now, they
No, I
can't.
don't think you can.
I
don't
don't
think-
understand your question, I'm sorry.
He's asking, can we sign a contract for 6,000, and then if you magically find $2,000 in your budget,
Oh, yeah,
to
no,
upgrade to 8,000 at a later date?
that doesn't work with contract. That's why
Yeah.
we created get 2 different contracts for either 6 or 8.
Yeah, it just sounds as if, I don't know, if you're being close with the money right now, and you don't have that extra $2,000, we sign into that contract, and what happens?
What's the
Well, that's why I'm here with
What's
you
the
guys.
normal
Yeah.
firework thing?
We usually do 6,000.
6.
We usually do our
Well, I think it
6.
was like 5,000 last year, and you figure inflation of
Yeah.
1,000.
Which is our normal, so yeah, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought there. I did have something to tell you, but then when you asked me a question.
I guess I'd look at if there's a certain type of fireworks that would represent the 250th anniversary that the extra charge went to. So in other words, if you had like a display, shot up and it was said 250th.
Oh,
Or
that's
something like
a
that.
lot more money than
Well,
just
but
$2,000.
but I know that,
I've
but,
done research
but
only
that's,
because I knew that.
but that's the point I'm making. To me, is it just additional shells that are the same type of fireworks that are already gone up?
Well, this year, I did have an increase of sponsorship, but everyone literally is just giving me $100, $100, $100, $100, that for Charter Day, and that basically doesn't cover like it used to. I mean, back in the day, I used to get $2,000, $3,000 per bank. They're like, hey, here's $250. Our sponsorship has dropped dramatically to the point like everything, I can't get sponsors to even help me with a fence. We need new fencing, and I can't get that. And then so I'm trying to get entertainment because people are complaining that we don't have the good entertainment. So I try to do entertainment, but then I don't have money to do anything else. As you guys know how a budget works.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to get sponsorships to help me with this event because it's a town event. And it's just not. Same with the volunteers and everything. It's just it's just hard. Everybody wants something, but no one wants to assist us to do it. I'm not referring to you guys though.
Have you approached Waste Management?
I haven't talked to them yet.
Because, with them now having the curbside collection
I was-
program.
was gonna hit
And I
them
remember
on
I
the-
put you in touch with somebody at Waste Management. I think it was you.
Nope, it was not.
It was on Facebook.
Nope. Sorry.
I'm pretty sure. But anyway, I'll put you in touch with that person.
Okay, that'd be awesome. Because I
And,
still have trash to do.
because she works there and she's great.
I got this if you want.
All right.
You bring yourself a note? I bring myself note cards.
She's on Facebook. You can probably just message her yourself, tell her who you are, that you know me. But she's awesome, and I'm not even funny. She's sort of customer service, but other stuff too, but her customer service is good. So
Yeah.
she will advocate.
I'm trying to get what a lot of people want, more entertainment, more things, more over this, but as you guys all know, you only go so far as your budget goes.
Yep.
So, and then the charging of the $5 coming in is supposed to help cover all that, which is wonderful, but sponsorship is a huge thing.
Yep.
And as everybody else knows, all the budget's all strapped in, so then I ask for volunteers for stuff, and it's just how it's been going for the past few years.
How much do you think you'll be short?
Which hat am I wearing?
250th.
I'm thinking somewhere around, worst case scenario, 5. Lightweight, 3,000.
Have you thought about going to the finance committee, see if they'll give you additional funds?
No, that's why I come, you know how only so far when you get so many things going on, and then I can't come up with any more ideas because I'm trying to do the safety thing. That's why I'm coming after you guys. Where do you want me to go?
Because
And
I believe in the past, they said if you needed more money,
okay.
they'd be willing to.
Because I'm not asking, because when I was going through the list of things that need to be done just as a parade, not necessarily volunteers or whatnot, more like make sure everybody has a safety vest that's working with me, make sure, just little things that would cost, a few hundred or at least 1,000, because my brain is finding more things, because like bathrooms, I never thought of, I need bathrooms. I need certain things all on the parade route, and there's just all these things that are coming up that's unexpected that I actually just planned for PD and fire. Because I even have companies coming who are donated to come for our parade for free that normally charge. Because I bugged them a few years ahead, because I've been on this committee for 4 years. So I've been putting bugs in everybody's ear, and then they've been sliding me in as one of their, free agents for the year to come. So I've been trying to keep my budget low, so we don't, because we all know we don't have money in the town. And I don't want to take taxpayers' money for an event if I don't. I would love sponsorships to help with this. But yeah, I've been trying every which way to not use the money that you guys gave me. And if I have used it for somebody, I've always tried to pay it back. Because in my head, I'm like, that's taxpayers' money, I gotta bring it back. Every time I try to do an event. So, but let me write this down before I forget, is finance. Because I don't think it'll be that much. It's just mainly covering for the staffing. The police officers, fire department, because they gotta come from all different directions now to cover. This is a huge tax on the town itself for, manpower.
Yep.
They have Charter Day and they have a parade the same weekend. It's very taxing on our supplies that we have. So I'm trying to reduce all that. So the money is mainly for manpower.
Yep.
So I've been trying to save on everything else.
How long is the parade route?
It's 1.5 miles. The actual starting of the parade is actually to be the corner of Crescent and 202. And it ends at Kendall and 202 because they'll be entering into the park on the Kendall, what we call the 202 entrance.
Right.
And they're gonna be parking in the field there. And that's where the parade's gonna end. It's actually from that point to that point, it's 1.5. But we're gonna register at West Street School, line up the floats we have, all 10 right now, of people who are participating down West Street, and then we're gonna go off onto Crescent and go like that.
$7,000 for,
Right now, $7,000 for just the police for 24 additional personnel. That's, I think, worst case scenario price of $7,000. And I still didn't get anything from the fire department.
wow.
And I'm like, this is I don't know, it's just, I don't ask for money for huge events in town. I don't know. It's just our 50, it's only our 250 if it only comes like once.
In our lifetime.
I know.
I don't know if I'll be here for the next one because I'll be over 90. So,
Yeah,
and I just missed the first, 50 years ago.
I was 4, so
Oh, I wasn't born yet. That's what I mean. I totally missed it.
I don't remember a heck of a lot, but I was 4.
But yeah, I would love to have sponsors or companies and businesses.
How long distance-wise, because we already talked about that.
Oh,
but
like
time-wise, yeah.
Obviously, it always depends on how many people participate. I'm anticipating maybe an hour and a half is what I'm anticipating. If everybody who comes, who I sent out invitations to, respond and come. Worst case scenario would be 2 hours, but I doubt it's gonna be that, 2 hours.
Do you have somebody on your committee that just does outreach to companies?
You mean the four of us?
I'm just asking.
No, I'm proving the point here, not from you, but other people who watch this, and they go, well, why can't you do this? Charter
just
Day,
curious.
we have 5. The 250th, we have 5 people organizing this whole entire event. And
Understand that.
personally, like separated, no, I think we try to send out letters, like who do we send out letters to? And we try to write a letter and then we get it organized and then we send out letters and then we get no response. It's the same thing with Charter Day. The amount of people we have, we send out letters, and I'm actually thrilled that we actually got people that we normally don't get sponsored. I think that's awesome for the people who did do that normally don't get for Charter Day. But, yeah. Did I answer your question?
Yes, it did. It did.
So I answered it like a politician.
Yes.
What do you need?
I related to that.
Did you need something from the fire department too?
Well, yeah, because the fire department we have to do a communication location for communications. So you have fire and PD, and then maybe someone from the parade route. So that way we're all having communication. Suppose something happens in the parade route. Suppose something happens on the outskirts of the that doesn't even part of the parade, because these guys have to take care of the whole town as well as the event itself. So he's going to try to bring in other departments in to cover.
So what happens during?
Well, you have to ask if it has anything to do with their departments, because it's not.
No, but I'm just
Okay.
I'm
I just don't
thinking
wanna-
outside.
You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to step their bounds.
No, I understand. I'm just thinking what happens during Charter Days. The fire department, do they bring in extra people for that weekend?
No, the issue is, Glenn, is this. With the parade going down 202, they're going down in front of the fire station. If there is an emergency that comes in, a fire call, while the parade is in front of the fire station, they can't respond, because they can only come out on 202, out of the fire station. So he's been talking about calling in somebody to cover this end of town, someone to cover the other end of town past Kendall Street, so that he doesn't have to worry about getting his trucks out of the station while the parade is going on.
So he has to man.
I know, I see a fire truck coming out, I'm getting out of the way.
Well, they don't want to do that.
No, I know,
Well,
I'm
also
just,
we're running
I know
into
that,
it.
Well, the
that
other thing
makes
is the
sense.
safety of the parade
Right.
route as well, because you have bystanders and everybody else, because as you know, everybody else that gets excited and they only pay attention what's in
Yeah.
front of them. And of course, that's my other hat, my other job.
No, I'm just
So
asking
I have-
questions because I don't know
Well,
the
of
answers,
course.
so I'm just asking questions to get the
No,
answers.
no, no, that's how else you're gonna know unless you ask. Our concern is always safety of the, I'm gonna say civilian, to make sure everything is, the whole point is everyone to have a good time and everything to become safe. And so his idea is to post people other places, so he's gotta hire guys to post these places with the trucks now. Because before, they all just responded to the station, they all took the truck and went to the call. Here, they actually gotta have manned the trucks, because they're not in a centrally located to pick up and go. Which I think I'm still doing pretty good, because 50 years ago, they asked for $50,000 and they used $50,000. So I still think I'm doing pretty well.
Well, why did you ask for $50,000?
I asked what I could use at the time, and I was given 13. They said, well, this is what you have, this is what you're going with. I said, okay. So I was given 13.
Yeah, they had a lot more stuff though, I gotta say. They had like a ball and a book. Yeah.
Wow, guess what we're doing? A ball, we did one, but we did with the Miss Granby.
But that was done last fiscal year.
That was done last fiscal year. A book's being done, George is doing it. We have 2 dances that we're doing. We did a barn dance last year's fiscal year as well. No, wait. Because
No, that was
this year. We did the barn dance and it was very successful. We're doing it again. We decided not to do the dinner because we're only 5 people and we can't tend to create all these events.
Yep. No, if you ever look at the bicentennial book, there's about 50 million people that are just involved.
Thank you. Just the amount of people that were involved to create this activity. We looked at the book, we looked at each other like, we can't do all this with this. Because as you know, we all have jobs, we all have families, we're all trying to help out the town, trying to do this, trying to do that. My candle's like this.
It's a different time. I mean, it's just,
Yes,
time was a lot smaller
exactly.
and things were a lot different.
So we're trying to do the best we can with what we have. And I hope I'm still trying to do as best as I can, because I don't like spending money. I don't like spending my money either on my own stuff. So here I have responsibility of the town, so that's why I come to you guys. And if it's very large that I know it can't get replaced, I come to you guys and I'm like,
Have you ever thought about like trying to be like an Uber driver or something, raise a little extra money for Charter Day?
No, Mark, I have 4 jobs already.
Uber, you could just like do it on your way to work.
Hey, could you hang on? Just jump in the fire truck where I go to this call, then I'll drop you off.
Well, it was good to see when I was in the hospital anyway.
Oh yeah, that's my other job. I was working.
Yeah, that was pretty hilarious. I'm sitting there in the emergency room, waiting room, and then here comes Miss Elaine with a patient. All right, so is there anything else we need to answer here?
Does the board wish to approve these contracts as
Yeah.
presented to you?
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna, I'm not personally thinking we should go with the 8,000. I think we should go with the 6,000.
Yeah, I'm with you. And if they're talking that tight with the money right now, why take a chance?
How about
Yeah.
my pants?
Yeah, we don't want to have a hangover after the party, a fiscal hangover. Of course, I won't be selectman, so it won't matter. These guys are on the hook, so. Those guys are spendthrifts.
You seem to finish a lot of comments with that.
You noticed that too tonight. Like, oh,
Four or 5 meetings.
Do we have to
Bob.
sign them?
hey, can I say the same thing?
If
After
you
this
want,
year,
you
I'm all
can
done
have me sign
with
'em
Charter
for
Day.
you guys.
This
up to
lovely
you.
ladies will be taking over.
If you want, you can authorize me to sign them as approved on behalf of the board.
All right, sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
Make a motion. You sign them.
As approved.
I'll second the motion.
All's in favor?
Right.
That's for all the contracts, not just the pilot.
Correct.
It's all of them.
That's
The
everything.
MTA was waiting to put it on their website as a points place.
The
Get
truck
rid of
pulling,
it.
the truck pulling association,
Oh,
it's gonna
Massachusetts
be,
Truck
Yeah,
Association.
it's gonna be a pulling, so what they're gonna do, they're gonna advertise it, because it's actually a pullings point. Normally, it's not a pullings point, that's why we're actually paying this year. It's to draw more,
Okay.
so.
When you say MTA, I think Massachusetts Teachers Association,
Yeah.
sounds like.
So we just wanna make sure so we can go ahead with them, and then they can go ahead and start advertising for them, which gets put on a lot of,
This is, you know Chris Martin, right? He's our town manager.
no, well, hello.
All right. Yeah. You can work with him now.
I work with him all the time.
Well, you're all set then. All right, thanks for coming in.
Any more hats?
you.
Am I good?
It's a pleasure. What's the Longhorns thing for?
Oh, my nephew goes to school, went to school there.
Who's that?
Seth,
Oh, really?
yeah,
Okay. As long as it's not for March Madness.
no.
I'm still in the lead, even though I lost Virginia in the first round.
Yeah, there's been some upsets.
That's how ugly that is.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Thank
have a good
you.
night.
Thank you.
Just give me that quote, officially.
I'm gonna get it in my car and I'll give it to you.
Okay.
Alrighty. We'll go to the rest of the agenda items. Departmental reports.
Oh, sure, we can do that.
Okay.
Make a motion to accept departmental reports.
I'll second the motion.
All's in favor?
Aye. Number 2, approve and sign maintenance warrant FY 18, 54, 55, 56.
I'll second the motion.
All's in favor?
Aye. We have to affirm appointment.
Appointments is basically for our new local inspector, Gregory Briggs. As part of his job, he is normally also the sign officer. He's going to be appointed as the local building inspector, the parking clerk, the zoning enforcement officer, and to the storm water phase 2 committee.
Oh, there's a lot of fun things that come with
No,
that.
no, really.
Yes,
All
they
right.
are.
So motion to affirm?
Motion to affirm Greg Briggs as so read.
I'll second the motion.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Approving, okay,
Common victuals.
Vic's license.
Okay,
Vicular's
Common
license.
Victular's license is for Joyrides LLC, doing business as Happy Days Family Fun Spot at 172 West State Street. It is good through the December 31st, 2018.
That's it?
That's it.
Make a motion to approve common vicular's license.
I'll second the motion.
All's in favor? Aye.
The entertainment license is for Joyrides LLC, doing business as Happy Days Family Fun Spot, 172 West State Street, Granby, Mass. It is for live entertainment consisting of karaoke, DJ, or small bands at 172 West State Street no later than 10 p.m. Cruise nights, Wednesdays only. This license is in effect until December 31st, 2018.
Is that family fun spot again?
Yep, that's Dennis LaFleur's
Yep.
place.
Yeah.
Happy Days.
Okay, good. So,
How many people does that hold? Do we know?
No, not really, because every time he turns around, he's trying to find new ways of cramming more people in there.
Well, I'm just curious, so what's the capacity of that place, to have bands and stuff inside there?
Well, usually if he does the bands, he has a
Outside?
platform. If you
Outside.
look at his
Outside,
place,
yep.
off to the right-hand side in the back, he built a cement pad
Okay,
that he puts the bands on, and that way you can have the
all right.
outside
All right.
entertainment. That's why he's limiting it to 10 people.
do we have a
Okay.
motion to approve that entertainment license?
Yes, making a
Say what?
make a motion to approve the entertainment license for Happy Days.
And then the cruise night stuff he usually does in his parking lot.
Right in the parking lot. I've
Yeah,
seen
in front of
those.
the mini golf.
Yep.
Second.
I'll second the motion.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Do we have correspondence?
Not really.
All right.
The only thing I want to bring up to the board is I have a couple items here. First off, I have the board, when we met with Dave DeRozier regarding a request to add on additional houses to the sewer system. The board asked him to draft a letter to Mr. Parent, who had made the request to extend the sewer. I gave you a copy of that proposed letter. If the board has no issue with, thank you. The board has no issue with the wording of the letter, I'd like to put it on our letterhead and then mail it out to Mr. Parent.
All right, sound fine.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. Yep.
We still have minutes to approve.
I have a couple of them.
All right.
No, I'm just reading the quote. There's no dollars assigned to it.
For what?
He has
This is the point.
18 traffic control officers. Then he has 2 patrols for the parade. he has 2 extra patrols for the town. He has a command center supervisor and he has an extra dispatcher. And it just says 24 officers at $75 an hour, 4-hour minimum. How are we getting $75 an hour per officer?
This is a town event. This is not an
But
outside
I'm just
detail.
saying, even at a detail rate, that's only like
$65,
$45, $50.
$50 an hour, yeah.
So where are we coming up with the $75 per hour?
I don't know.
So I have a concern over the price,
do.
just to be honest with you.
I do too.
I
That's
do-
outrageous.
I guess I think about,
Math is right.
you know, they do you guys heard of the ride remember? And obviously that's a function for
No, this-
some falling officers. And I just think about that, a lot of those police officers that do control for vehicles and stuff like that, they're all donating their time.
Well, yes.
Obviously, I'm
that's-
not asking people to do that, but it just seems that for an hour and a half parade, $7,000 seems like a lot of money.
But I'm just saying for a 4-hour minimum for an officer, a detail rate is $45 an hour, or $50 an hour.
Right.
At $50 an hour, how's he come up with $75 for 24 people?
Unless that's state rate for the state police.
He's not saying he's bringing in state police. But I believe state police is more than $75
If
an
you
hour.
stand next to a state trooper, you get paid same as a state trooper. That's the law. Situation is that if this is a town event, this is not like an outside detail that you're working for Comcast or a tree company or something of that nature. That's an exorbitant amount of money.
Well, the other way, it comes out to 4,300. Like if you do it at the detail rate.
That's what I'm saying, you know.
I thought there was a detail rate for if it's a town function
Our detail rate is $50 an hour right now,
All right.
for the town.
for the town, per the police contract, yes.
Okay.
And it's a 4-hour minimum for detail. So if it's a 2-hour parade, we have to pay them for 4 hours.
4,800. All right, so you better talk to Al.
I'm just trying to figure out how we're coming to this figure, that's all.
Yeah. All right. What else you got?
Next item is we have a request from the state-run group home on 110 Maximilian Drive. They want to know what the cost would be for them to have the town pick up their trash and recycling. My problem is currently they have 3 96-gallon trash carts. If they're going to follow our program, then they can only get the 35-gallon can, and then anything over and above would be
Bag.
$2 a bag, if that's what they so desire. I don't know how many bags would be equal to the 3 96-gallon carts.
Or are they allegedly 35 or 32? So
They're
probably
33 gallons, but that would be like our carts out here. You could probably shove 3 or 4 bags into those carts easily. You know,
Are they don't they already have it picked up?
they currently have a private contract, but they're wondering if it would be cheaper for them to participate in the town program.
let them know how it breaks down, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then I have a request from the senior center regarding, would like permission to dispose of the 8 red rolling chairs. In the lunchroom, they have become a hazard to our seniors who are attempting to sit in them. They roll backwards and those who are already unsteady on their feet will end up falling. They have alternate chairs to use that are currently stored in the COA closet.
I'm gonna have to talk to my mother about sitting in these chairs. That's it.
Well, I mean, it's not going to bother me in the long run, but I think I'd like real chairs, at least for the select board meetings and the other meetings we have here.
And if you remember in the budget, I had put in 3 chairs for the board.
Okay.
But they want not to have these here?
Yeah,
They should turn it into like a racing
they'll
thing.
probably do those regular chairs like that. over there.
Stationary, the ones that don't roll.
Stationary, or maybe these here, or whatever.
Well, I think it went until we get our new chairs, we can figure out, let's just stay here, just don't use them.
Do you want, just keep 3 of the chairs for the board only? And I'm just saying, it's, you know,
We're gonna put new do not touch signs on them. No touch.
Yeah, I mean, they want to get rid of them because people keep trying to sit in them even though they know better?
they're concerned because they're a rolling chair.
Yeah.
And you know as well as I do, sometimes if you're not steady on your feet,
Yeah, yeah.
you go to sit in a rolling chair, the chair can roll out from underneath you. You know? We have that issue upstairs on occasion, so,
I mean,
So we're gonna
Is there-
ban
is there
wheelchairs
another-
too from here?
yes.
is there another town department that could use them, instead of just throwing them away?
No, I don't think so.
No?
This one's pretty unsteady.
Yeah, they're old.
Yeah. Right.
So am I, but you're not throwing me out.
Well,
Yeah.
you never know. You never know.
We're coming close.
Getting out of the wire on that.
As long as we keep 3 until we get our new chairs in.
Okay. Then I'll let her know that you're approving disposal of all of them except for the 3 best ones for use at board meetings.
Should we point a subcommittee to decide which ones are the best?
I think you just go and sit in them and see which ones are the squeakiest.
That's what
Which
I want.
ones sit the lowest.
I'll keep this one.
I consider this,
I'll put a
Put
sticky
your-
note on this one.
Put your initials on it, and then you can.
I want the lowest, squeakiest one we can get. I want to be able to move around and make noise.
So basically, that's all I have.
All right, I'll make the motion this time. Motion to approve the minutes from March 5th, 2018.
I second it.
All in
All's-
favor? Well,
Yeah, go ahead.
all's in favor?
Aye. Wow, oh, that was good. Motion adjourned?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.